Hey guys, my name is Will, owner of Rocky Mountain Computing, and today we're taking a look at the Zalman S2. It's a pretty budget case. You can pick it up on Amazon for about 60 bucks. Comes with some fans pre-installed. Um, some good things about the case, some other things I didn't quite like so much. We're going to take a look at that in the video, and I'll give you my thoughts and tell you what I think. All right, let's dive in. So going in, I really liked the look of the case when I saw it on Amazon. Thought it looked pretty good. Was a very good price, $59.99. 3 fans installed, and has an acrylic side panel, which was nice. Like I said, $59.99 on Amazon. Good budget case. Some things I didn't like so much about it, but we'll see more on that later. But for the price, not too horrible. The product page from Zalman gives a little more in-depth detail on it, just in the way of compatibility, motherboard sizes, hard drive support, CPU cooler support, GPU length, all that good stuff. All the way at the bottom, you get the exact specifications for everything in text. We can see all that stuff I just said before, all the different features and things it supports. The side panel is a little, I don't know, I didn't like it too much just because it doesn't sit on anything. It's just kind of fastened to the side. So when you're removing that side panel, you might want to get a hand under it, or it can just kind of fall because it doesn't actually like sit in anywhere. It's just kind of on there, and the screws hold it into place. But once that's removed, and again, it's acrylic, it's not tempered glass, so good or bad depending on how you feel about that. Getting in there, just some screws, extra stuff, standoffs, zip ties. Kind of see your standard front I/O cables. The backside panel didn't have a lip on it to really grip and pull it off there, which I didn't necessarily like too much. I like a little bit of a lip to maybe kind of get it off there. This one's just flush with the case. Some people might like that. I like a little bit of something to slide it off. And there wasn't too much space in between the case itself and then that side panel. So cable management was a little tight, but there is some room in there. There's room in there for the fans I put in and the fan hub. So the fans that came with it, there are 3 fans, 2 intake in the front and 1 exhaust, and they seem like fine fans. They're Molex. I don't really like Molex too much. Just kind of gets in the way. The only thing seemingly that Molex is used for is, in most cases, just the fans. So those cables can kind of get in the way. But it's a good looking case and has some nice features. Got the 3.5-inch bay down below. It is not removable. So that does come into play in building in this case. Kind of affects it negatively in my opinion, but we'll see more on that later. 3 fans installed, standard removal, just four screws in each fan. Pop those out and then remove your fans. And replacing them was fine. There's a couple spots, like I said, that non-removable 3.5-inch bay does kind of make it a little difficult to get that bottom fan in. We'll see more on that later. But for the most part, just standard removal. Nothing too crazy. We can see the 2.5-inch support as well. There's one right there, and then before, when I was doing a little rotation of the case, I think it supports 3 2.5-inch bays. So you don't necessarily even need the 3.5-inch drive in there, but it would be nice if that bay was removable. So yeah, 2 on the back, 1 inside. And I put the DS fans in again. I like these fans to build with. The fan hub supports 9 fans and 2 LED strips, so you can do a lot with that. It comes with a remote, adjustable speeds, a lot of different RGB features, so that is a nice plus. Went in pretty straightforward. One of the fans on the top exhaust, that back fan, the back left top fan, does have some issues getting in there. If you have a, I don't know, I guess larger than standard VRM cooling. The motherboard I use is a B450 Tomahawk Max from MSI, and I don't feel like the VRM cooler was that high, but it did block the top fan in the back. And then this, again, like I was saying before, this bottom fan was a little tricky to get in there just with that non-removable 3.5-inch bay. So you might need a long screwdriver or a very short screwdriver to kind of feed it in there and get those screws in. But I did manage to do it. It was just a little bit of an inconvenience. It would have been nice to take out that 3.5-inch bay. But for the most part, it's what you expect. It's not a crazy expensive case, and saving a bit of money here on your case might have some less than desirable features, but you put that money into other components. Standard power supply. I think on the website it says it supports up to 180 millimeter in length, so you can put any ATX power supply in there. Again, pretty standard with the installation of that. Nothing too unique or different about it. The spacing of the motherboard, the motherboard I/O, and the top of the motherboard, where it is in relation to the top of the case, was very tight. If it was maybe a 1/2 inch taller, I feel like it would have been a lot better. So that was a bit of a squeeze, but managed to get it in there. The CPU power cable to the motherboard was, like I said, it's very tight to the top, and then the VRM issue, and we'll see more on that, and this as well. So depending on where your USB 3 plug is on your motherboard, it will block one of the bottom fan mount holes, so you won't even be able to get a fan on the bottom there. If you're using an MATX board, probably don't have to worry about it as much, but that was a bit of a inconvenience. And then this here, the VRM cooler blocked that fan spot as well. So just slightly it blocked it. Like I said, if it was a 1/2 inch taller, it would have been a lot better. But other than that, non-removable 3.5-inch bay, the blockage of 2 of the fan spots, depending on what motherboard you're using, that was, and the limited space in the back. Those things were a bit of an inconvenience in this case. But everything else went in nicely, and for the price, not too much to complain about. It was an okay case to build in. Wasn't the best, but definitely wasn't the worst. I'm sure you can find other cases that aren't so good. It has a good amount of reviews on Amazon, so I feel like it's probably a well-liked case for the most part. And getting everything in there was not too bad. GPU, Wi-Fi card, everything plugged in, put back together, and looked good. I went into this buying this case because I enjoyed the way it looked, just the pictures of it, and when I got it and got it out of the box, thought it still looked pretty good. And when I got it all assembled, it looked good. It was just a couple of the things in there that hampered the building experience that I would have preferred to be a little bit different, but nothing, not deal breaking by any means. And that's it, guys. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share. Share with your friends if you know somebody that's interested in this case or has it. Definitely subscribe to the channel. It immensely helps me out, and I will be doing more builds. Leave your comments below if you have an idea for a case that you'd like to see me build it in, or something that you're curious about. And I do hope everybody enjoyed this and hopefully found it useful in some way. And again, if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day.